Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. So this was a lot to start. By the way, it is almost 9 o'clock and for some reason my kids just refuse to go to sleep. I have tried to put them to bed, and rather than hearing them scream in the background, I decided to keep them in the living room watching a little bit of TV, so that's what you might hear in the background. I do apologize. I want to continue making content, but I've had children, and so this is part of what you get with it. Let's proceed. So this is a video about some young ladies that literally, I don't know what to think at this point, because it's just like, this is clearly a form of child abuse. But in this country that it's happening in, Mauritania, it's not something you can go to the cops and be like, hey, this is happening, and then them actually do something about it. Because if it was happening here in America, which it technically is all the time, but one thing you can honestly say, hint about, this is a little spoiler of the videos about young girls who are being force fed, the things they are fed versus what we have here available. Like, yeah, kids are being force fed in this country, but they're being force fed things that actually taste good. So they have no problem eating it, but these girls are not. And so if you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment and tell me what you think.
This is 11-year-old Monet. She's about to be force-fed to make her fat. Her friend Hendu is joining her on a 9,000 calorie a day diet. They're growing up in a desperately poor country that's going through a devastating drought. But their moms believe fatter girls look wealthier and more beautiful, crucial when trying to attract a husband. They're preparing a special tent to force-feed the girls during the rainy season, which will last 2 months. Food is more plentiful then, but families will go without to help the fattening process.
Oh my gosh, so they're trying to fatten up their daughters so that they can look more attractive, so that they can attract a mate basically and get married. And she said that about like a little girl, I want to say they said one of them was 11 years old. So they're marrying pretty young wherever they're from, Mauritania. That's just, I mean, we obviously know as Americans that you got to be at least 16 with consent. Like literally 11. If you're marrying your kid off at 11, that's just like pawning your kid off on someone else at that point. And that's sick, because who is... Let's just keep watching.
These nomads survive by keeping camels and goats. A married daughter means one less mouth to feed. Monet is only 11, but a quarter of girls in poor communities marry before they're 15.
Why? You don't think you're pretty now?
So we're a minute in, and the young girl has such a misconstrued idea of beauty. She says, if I'm fat, I will be beautiful. She doesn't see herself as beautiful now. And so this makes me think about our country and the dilemma that we're going through, how it's like the total opposite here, you know, where it's like more so the skinnier you are or the more fit you look, then the more attractive you are. Whereas in this country, the more fat you are, the more attractive you are. And so that just, that's just crazy. And then they're marrying their kids off. Like, I mean, I get that other cultures exist, you know, and I'm not like a super world traveler or anything, but I tried to, when we were in Thailand, be conscientious of the fact that we were in another culture. And so while like some things may have been acceptable or whatever for other people, I, being accustomed to what I'm accustomed to, just wasn't cool with it. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, at one point, somebody was trying to hand us food from just like a stick that they got from someone else, you know, a kebab of sorts. And it was like a street food deal. And to me, I was apprehensive about eating it. You know, I think I barely really ate it, or I may have eaten it and just ate it really quick or something because I didn't want to be rude. That's one of those things where it's like, you know, it's like you don't want to be rude, but at the same time, you're like, ew, you know? Gosh, it sounds so wrong, but I am conscientious of other cultures, and that's why we're watching this today, because, you know, we're always talking about weight on this channel and, you know, how people should lose it, you know, so that they can be more healthy and beautiful. And here we are watching a video where it's like people should gain it and be more beautiful. Like, that's crazy.
By the end of the feeding season, their parents hope they'll put on over a stone, over 7 kilos. Monet's mom Tahir will be in charge of the feeding.
What are your biggest wishes and dreams for your daughter? How would you feel if she never succeeds to get fat?
Day one, and Tahia is preparing the first meal of the day. She's been a belaha, a force feeder, for years. But until now, she's never force-fed her own daughter. Around a quarter of Mauritanian girls are force-fed. But in rural areas, it can be as high as 3/4.
How long do they have to consume all of this? Is it all for today?
لا أول النهار أول النهار هذا لا حكما لين يعطوا الشيء يأكلوا هذا باسي يغبوه لين هو ذاك يظلوا يشربوا عليه الزريق لين يلحق القدم.
They'll drink milk on top of that until lunchtime. Baby, can you not make that noise, please? Like, can you just not and say you did? Will that be okay? Like, anyways, that's crazy. Drinking just milk, and I'm pretty sure it's not some like normal cow's milk, or even I don't even know what's real anymore, what's good milk or what's bad, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure our American milk probably isn't that great either. But if they're drinking milk from like camels or goats, I mean, oof, I've heard that goat's milk was actually healthy for you, but I don't know about camel. Like, it just sounds gross to me. I don't know. Gosh, what a situation here. They're eating some kind of powdered substance with milk. That's how they're using, you know, things, because obviously they're in a rural area. There's not like a 7-Eleven down the street. I'm sorry about all the noise. Like I said, the little ones tonight are giving me a lot. But anyway, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, to be force-fed such bland food, it sounds miserable. You know, it does sound like torture at that point, because the reason it's not so hard to make people fat in America is because at least we can say that the food that we're being fed, or that's being provided by, you know, mass producers and this and that we have to shop from and buy from. I mean, the one thing that we can say is they provide us with variety and things that taste good, you know, and these people are like stuffing themselves on like wild, probably unpasteurized milk, and it sounds really gross if I'm being honest. I hate to say it, and again, it's like another culture, but yikes.
What if you push her so hard that she ends up getting hurt? What if what you want for her isn't good for her?
والأطباء سمعنا احنا سمعوا بعد يقولون إنه فينا أمراض وهذا يلا بعد احنا نعرض ذاك اللي نعرضه.
Each drink a liter of sweetened camel's milk. That's followed by porridge. And then couscous. It takes the girls 2 hours to force down all the food.
I've had couscous, it's good. I've had porridge, it's good as well. But to just keep eating that, such, like I said, just like kind of simple food, and it doesn't, I don't know, it's no change of flavor, no real textures there, you know what I mean? Like, it's just blah, you know, it's just bland, like porridge and couscous and milk, camel's milk. You know, that's it. Like, dang, where the Fritos at? Where the fried chicken at? I mean, again, like if they were here in America, give them some burgers, some fried, give them some McDonald's, they will keep eating. They will be happy about it, because that junk has some chemicals in it that make you happy, or at least it's flavored in a sense that it will produce dopamine. But these kind of foods, they're just gonna make you like ugh, after a while.
This is just breakfast. But each girl has already eaten about 3,000 calories, equivalent to 10 cheeseburgers. Extra weight makes girls look older, as if they've reached puberty, putting more pressure on Monet to marry young.
You want to get married? No. Why not? But your mom says that girls here should get married when they're 12, 13 years old.
Okay, this is just mental torture in and of itself. Like, if these people were just born in America, they would be straight. But then at the same time, they wouldn't, because they would be sent under the same ideals and standards of beauty that we are, where it's like the thinner you are, the more attractive you are, not the fatter. So because they're where they are, they've only got so many options of food to eat. And it's like they have to eat this bland, mundane food to get fat, which is like mentally probably exhausting, while we're here in America with all these delicious, delightful foods that we have to deny ourselves from so that we can have some idealistic standard of beauty. And it's like, it's mental exhaustion, I guess, no matter where you are. Leave a comment if you agree.
I've brought some magazines to find out what they think of other countries' ideas of beauty.
So in here, they put pictures of women that everybody wants to look like and dress like. What do you think about her body? What do you think that where I come from, women starve themselves and go on diets and make themselves throw up to lose weight?
لا ما احنا موزينها غير المرأة لا بدها تعود غليظة شوي تعود تحشي البس وهذا اللي سقوطه ويا الراجل احنا الرجال والعليات بيناتهم فرق تعود المرأة قليظة شوي والراجل رقيق.
Kim Kardashian, she's meant to be, she's very beautiful and she's very curvy, she's actually big.
أبوه أبوه هذا هو الزين هاي زين زين فورمها زين.
So you like Kim Kardashian?
أبوه من فوق رقيقة ومن تحت زين.
Wait a minute, did she say Kim Kardashian was big? I don't know, this is probably an old, wait a minute though, I don't think Kim Kardashian's ever been big. I think she's been curvy since the existence of, you know, all these different surgeries, but to say she was big, that's a far stretch, ma'am.
Okay. But Kim Kardashian is an exception, so how about this woman? Right now, she's considered one of the most beautiful women on the planet right now.
The women here insist men think fat is beautiful. I wonder if that's true. Abu Bakri is one of the group's leaders.
المرأة قليلة تقول الرجال أنا لا من الرجال وريحتي أنا بعد في نفسي على إن المرأة قاعدة قليلة ما يلوح فيش بين المرأة القليلة فيها ياسر من الراحة يشبر الراجل.
I'm childish. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing because he said fat women are more comfortable during sex. It sounds like he likes to do a lot of banging, if we're being real. When it comes to a plumper woman, there's more to grab onto, and it may feel like you're just going inside of something more satisfying. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not even gonna go that far, but I'm just laughing at what he said. That's all.
منين هنا مثلا هنا الزوجية وذا الشيء مو هناك عندنا احنا رجال موريتانيا ذيك المرأة القليلة من المرأة الأخرى.
One personal question though. Am I fat or am I skinny? Like, what do I have to do to look better?
First of all, he just said she was average. Oh my God. No woman ever wants to hear that. But anyways, I just think it's funny that she turned it on herself. Like, wait a minute. Even though I'll probably never be here or date anyone here, please still find me attractive. That's what it was about. Like, girl, bye. Like, you ain't fat enough. Like, you need to stop.
لأنها وسط بعد ولأنها بالنسبة لي أصلا الرجال ما هي شيء عنده غير يقلها تعود عن فرم حتى شوي مولياك تعود.
It's lunchtime. Monet and her friend Hendu are made to force down another 4,000 calories.
I hate to say it, but like, look at what we're dealing with here. They're like drinking. Michael, stop. Stop, baby. Come on, you're talking too much. But like, I don't know what that's about. But anyway, literally, they're drinking out of bowls and using their hands to eat. Like, to me, that in and of itself sounds like I'm not going to be doing this for long. I will get enough. Like, if I'm starving, I'll get enough to keep me going. But I'm not trying to just like drink out of bowls and use my hands to eat powder. Like, wow. This is, I mean, you know, first world problems, I guess. I'm looking at this like, man, they sit on the ground eating like what looks to be like sand and drinking unpasteurized camel's milk. Oh, it's all so cringy to me, but this is normal way of life for some people, and I get that. You know what I mean? It's just, I guess because it's so foreign to me, I'm like, no. But then they might look at like some of the things I probably drink in my life and be like, no. You know, just going to Starbucks and getting a freaking mint chocolate latte from them. Come on now, they probably wouldn't even drink that. They'd be like, what is this?
Each girl has now eaten the equivalent of more than 20 cheeseburgers. Hendu's mom Fatimatu uses her stick to make sure the girls keep going.
How do you convince her to carry on?
Okay, so obviously the bigger your daughter gets, the more she's going to put up a fight and more you're going to have to tie her up. But that's messed up. Like, you're telling her she can't leave and see her friends if she doesn't eat. And she's telling you, like, Mom, I don't want to do this. It's making me sick. Like, again, like if you actually offered people good tasting food, they would eat until they were overstuffed. But if you're offering them crap food, they're going to eat until they're satisfied and that's it. Anything more than that is going to be like, blah. You know, like I said, give them a day, a few days at McDonald's. That crap food that's so addictive to so many people. A few days at Burger King, freaking KFC, those crap foods, Happy's Pizza and crap. You know, they'll keep going back for more. But you give them this crap, man, come on. Nobody wants to eat that.
هي شافتني هذا مال هذا وزين عليها قال يعقب ذاك يقعد عنها انا ندور انا مالي امها نبقيه يا قال ندور مالي نبقي شي زين عليه وتو ندير فيها تركه شوي مده نهار ورا اثنين يحبل يعود ماني عاقد تعود فيه.
So she won't make the rope tight. She won't let anyone else beat her, but she will tie her up and beat her daughter until she submits with some kind of wooden stick. Wow. That does sound like abuse, you guys, but again, that's from an American standard. You know, our country, it's not, I guess, as serious it is for them to marry off their children. Like, that's just, it's sad, but it's a reality for some people. And we just don't understand it because we're not in those circumstances. Maybe they're at a place where it's like they're in a rural area. They got to fight to survive. They got to grow their own food, rear their own animals. So it's like the first time the kid gets old enough, get them out there on their own, get them out there, you know, and maybe, you know, having kids is like something that they don't even want or choose because it's like birth control maybe not be a thing, maybe due to religion or just due to their area. And so they're just having kids because they're in a relationship, married, having sex, and that's just what happens. You know, unless you're in a country where you can actually stop that. And thank God there's methods, because I definitely don't want another kid right now. You know? So it's like, thank God I'm at where I'm at, but it's like, I think that's just more what it is. I don't think they look at it as abuse. They probably look at it like, I got to get my kid a place in this world that we live in. And it's a sad reality to us because we're looking at it like, oh, heck no, we would never want our children to be married. We would never overfeed our children, you know, or in some cases feed them things that they wouldn't at least want to eat. You know, this is a lot.
Monet and Hendu's evening meal brings today's calorie count to a massive 9,000, almost twice what a heavyweight boxer eats, and nearly 5 times the World Health Organization's recommendation for girls their age. By the end of the feeding season, they'll be eating 16,000 calories a day. Early the next morning, I discover a group of younger girls being force-fed in a camp nearby.
هاي السلام عليكم سحر شو اسمك؟ زينب and Zahra.
Fatimatu, Breha, and Zahra are all under 10 years.
It's like these people kind of look like they're African/Arabic. I don't know what they are, but it's like just judging from how they look, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some African, I'm seeing some Arabic, or maybe they're just like mixing together from where they're at.
Years old. The feeder Saida is expanding their stomachs with milk and couscous to permanently increase their appetites.
Is this for each girl or do they share this?
هذا كله لا يتجبر منه واحد. زارت تفني صدق علينا. صدق شرعي. هو الشخص.
I just want to stop it really quick. I don't know if you guys remember in the clip before, they had a little boy, and you could tell it was a boy because he didn't have any hair. And I swear that's how they do their kids in these other countries. Like, they cut all of their hair off, like shave it, so that you know they're boys, and then they let the girl's hair just grow. Because when we were in Thailand, and I guess I keep bringing it up because that was my first outside, you know, the U.S. experience, and I just saw how, like, so many people assumed our son Michael was a girl. Like, oh, and again, dressed him in all boyish clothes, nothing girly at all. You know, everything was meant for a boy, and yet somehow so many people are just thinking that we just got our son looking so different than our daughter. Like, Luca always has barrettes and girly things in her hair, pink, purple clothing, stuff that lets you know she's a girl. And then with Michael, you know, nothing in his hair, or if he does have braids, just black, simple, you know, rubber bands like this one, you know what I mean? No barrettes, no beads, nothing like that. And all of his clothing, boys' clothing. And yet somehow so many people were like, oh, your daughter's so cute. I'm like, oh no, he's a boy, you know? But it's just like they were like astonished because his hair was growing so much. But I mean, listen, I go by the rules, and you're not really supposed to cut your kid's hair until they're at least 3 years of age. So yeah, he's 1, and yeah, he's got a ton of hair, but I'm not going to cut it yet because he's not 3. And I don't really want to even cut it at all. Like, to me, I love beautiful, long, healthy hair, whether it's on a man or a woman. I think it's a good thing, and I think it's beautiful. Whether you have a bald head or whether you have a head full of hair, if you take care of yourself, it can be beautiful. But for some reason, I just want my son's hair to grow, I guess, because it's like mine. Whatever.
When the girls feel unwell, The feeder tells them to make themselves sick so they can keep eating. Watching the girls eat, I can see why this is often referred to as gavage, the term used for force-feeding geese to make foie gras.
Putting pressure on your body to look a certain way, especially for us women, is nothing new. I've done it, my girlfriends have done it. But what makes this quite different and a bit shocking is that these are little girls, and this pain and torture, which could potentially have quite serious health issues, is being put on these girls by their parents.
That part. The fact that this is being put on them by their own parents, and we're looking at it and it's obviously something wrong. You're making your kid eat to the point where they need to vomit, and then you're making them go and vomit, force themselves to vomit. I'm sorry. Sticking your finger down the throat is forcing yourself to vomit. And then making them eat some more of that, that does sound like some kind of torture if I ever heard it. So yeah, if they are trying to run away and they got to tie them up so they don't, like, I totally get that at that point. That sounds horrific. And it sounds like mental torture. And I'm so sorry that people have to go through that. You know what I mean? But I kind of get it at the same time, because it's like just parents wanting their children to make it where they are. You know, it's the same as us putting pressure on our kids to get into athletics or get, you know, do good in school or be the best behaved child that they could be. We just want the best for them. But we just look at it like abuse because they're doing it in a way that we would never do it. But it's not our culture. So I'm not here to judge. You guys tell me what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are here. Thank you so much for watching that with me. And I will see you next time.